The Inquisition tends to be a surprisingly flat organization once one reaches the rank of a full Inquisitor, as the only check on one's authority tends to be another one, or a group of them, acting in concert as an organization called a conclave. However, within the conclaves of the Inquisition, which are usually organized to include the Inquisitors of every ordo operating in a given sector or sub-sector of the Imperium, there is some differentiation based on functional roles and the need for basic forms of administration. Though such titles are more often seen by other Inquisitors as designating their bearer more of a first among equals rather than an outright superior within a strict hierarchy. This egalitarian attitude does not apply, however, to the acolytes within any given Inquisitor's retinue. The first rank is the Inquisitorial Representative, also known as the Inquisitor Lord Tyran. The Inquisitorial Representative is the voice of the Inquisition on the Senatorum Imperialis of the High Lords of Terra, the governing body of the Imperium. Although the role does not bring any additional authority above that held by any other Inquisitor Lord, it does put the bearer of the title in a position of unrivaled authority due to the influence they can bring to bear at the highest levels of Imperial power. The Inquisitorial Representative is nominated from amongst the Inquisitor Lords of the Conclaves active in the sectors surrounding Terra, and Inquisitors that have previously filled this role for a term of service are thereafter referred to as an Inquisitor Lord Tyran. It is not unusual for several Inquisitor Lords Tyran to share the role of Inquisitorial Representative at the same time. The maximum term that Inquisitor Lord Tyran can serve on the Senatorum Imperialis is 5 standard years, after which they must stand down to make room for a new one. Then we have the Grand Master. The title of Grand Master is sometimes granted to the Inquisitor Lord who leads a sector or sub-sector conclave of the Inquisition. They essentially are viewed by outside Imperial organizations as the inquisitorial authority for a specific sector or sub-sector of Imperial space. Then the Master. Where one of the Inquisition's ordos has a strong presence in a sector or sub-sector, the senior Inquisitor Lord of each ordo may be given the title of Master in their respective conclave. Their role is to oversee and guide the activities of the members of their ordo active in the region and provide counsel to the conclave's Grand Master. Upon the death of a conclave's Grand Master, a successor is chosen by secret ballot between the 3 existing Ordo Masters of the conclave. Then the most famous one, the Inquisitor Lord, also known as Lord Inquisitors or High Inquisitors. Inquisitor Lords exist to help maintain the integrity of the organization and to watch over and guide its members. The title is granted by the Inquisitor Lord's fellows in their conclave as recognition of an Inquisitor's power, influence, and seniority within the organization rather than an absolute rank, and is more a formalization of a position enjoyed by the Inquisitor rather than an actual promotion. Promotion to the ranks of the Inquisitor Lords is by invitation only. An Inquisitor must be nominated by an existing Inquisitor Lord and have their nomination approved by 2 others. It is an honor that is only extended to those that have proven their courage, ability, loyalty, and integrity numerous times. Although the title of Inquisitor Lord in itself brings no further temporal authority than that already held by a full Inquisitor, it is likely that such a respected an influential Inquisitor will have some measure of control over resources within the Inquisition or their chosen Ordo, and their control of those resources will give them some measure of authority over those other Inquisitors who wish to use them. For example, a Lord Inquisitor may oversee the activities of all Inquisitors operating in the area of the Imperium covered by a regional or sectoral conclave, or they may orchestrate and monitor the activities of Inquisitors who are part of an Ordo or the smaller group of allied Inquisitors and their retinues known as a Cabal. And then, the Inquisitor, or the Ordinary Inquisitor. The Ordinary Inquisitor is the official title of the vast majority of all Inquisitors, with all the nearly unlimited political, investigative, and military power it conveys. Inquisitors are truly exceptional individuals, standing alongside, often above, the most influential and powerful of the Imperium's servants. But few operate alone, for the galaxy is too perilous a war zone for a single man or woman, even one of their standing, to face without allies. Throughout their career, Inquisitors will form their own cadre of agents of various roles and functions in order to achieve whatever goal is put before them. These agents fall into two classes, known as Acolytes and Throne Agents. Acolytes are initiates into the Inquisition service, who may eventually become Inquisitors themselves one day if they perform well and please their master. Throne Agents are mature Acolytes who have served the Inquisition and a particular Inquisitor for standard years, and sometimes solar decades, and are considered full members of the organization. They are amongst the most powerful beings in the Imperium of Man, after an Inquisitor. Some of these agents are common tools used throughout the Imperium, including priests of the Ecclesiarchy, astropaths, servitors, tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, etc. Others may be more subtle and even serve a more specific role, such as high-ranking members of the Administratum, the apprentice Inquisitors called Interrogators, elite members of the Astra Militarum like Stormtroopers or the Adeptus Arbiters Judges, and the highly trained assassins of the Officio Assassinorum's 4 temples or various imperial death cults. Any member of any organization within the Imperium that can help in achieving an Inquisitor's objective will likely serve a purpose for the Inquisition at one point or another. Some may be used briefly for special tasks or one-shot missions, while others may serve alongside the Inquisitor for the duration of their career. Over time, older, more experienced Inquisitors will have built an extensive network of spies and agents that make seeking out and destroying threats to the Imperium all the easier. The number and type of allies an Inquisitor surrounds themselves with depends on many factors. Perhaps the greatest one is the mission the cadre must perform. A mission involving infiltration and fact-finding requires a different range of skills than one where combat is anticipated. Thus, some cadres are made up of warriors and assassins, while others feature tech adepts and sages. There are, however, some Inquisitors who, for whatever reason, have less choice in their allies. Perhaps a newly ascended one has only a small pool of allies in which to draw, or one of a more radical bent has, by way of their metaphysical viewpoint, fewer willing to aid them. Many Inquisitors favor a small, permanent group of highly trusted allies with a balanced range of skills, while others maintain a large pool of retainers, selecting the most appropriate on a mission-by-mission basis. Although the Inquisitor is the leader of the cadre, its members are often every bit as important to a mission's success or failure. An effective cadre is a tight-knit group, each member able to anticipate the thoughts and deeds of the others. Inquisitors rarely find themselves with a surplus of what they might consider friends among the Inquisition, for Inquisitors often end up in opposition to one another. However, within their cadre of acolytes, they may form relationships, even friendships, not possible otherwise. Ultimately, the cadre belongs to the Inquisitor rather to the Inquisition. Its enemies are their cadre's enemies, meaning the fates of all involved are entwined for all time. Furthermore, most Inquisitors gather individuals with a similar philosophical outlook to their own. Should one's factional leanings cause them to be denounced by their fellows, the same fate befalls all of their allies in their cadre. Thus, the cadre is bound together by a common cause. The tragedy is that many cadres fall apart if the Inquisitor loses their life in the execution of their duty, often finding themselves severed from the greater institution of the Inquisition. The fortunate are able to call upon other Inquisitors known to be allies of their erstwhile master, perhaps becoming part of a new cadre of acolytes, but for others, a far darker end awaits.